Thanks for joining us today at the Virtually Awful Concours des Le Mondes. And today we have a special award that we're giving out. It's the John Oates Memorial. Even though he's still alive, I can't go for that award. And with us today, we have our chief judge from Classic Motorsports Magazine, Tim Sutter. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, and it's nice to have John Oates with us. We've gotten to know each other, and he's such a car guy and such a nice guy. And I just thought it'd be fun to bring him into the fold here and ruin his life with the Concours de Le Mans.
Yeah, John, you realize your career is probably over after this. I mean, if anyone sees this, it's just done. I mean, your time as a lead singer for a Norwegian black metal band is just over, right?
Over.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I maybe this video will be living proof that the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. So hopefully we can dispel that rumor right here and now.
Well, of course, it is Hall of Fame inductee and singer for Hall and Oates, John Oates, with us today. He haven't quite started his career as a Norwegian black metal singer, but maybe that's in the offing after this. So what we have for you today is a fine selection of really awful cars. And what we want you to do is to pick the car that you'd least like to have. So, I mean, everyone's got a car story. What is your least favorite car that you've owned?
Wow. Well, let's see. Let me think about that. I've had a few. One of the most fun and probably least favorite, all wrapped into one, was probably
funny how that works.
My Renault Dauphine that I had when I was in high school. Which I actually enjoyed in a very perverse kind of way. I used to, I don't know if you guys probably, I know you remember, it had a city horn and a country horn.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
With a little switch underneath on the steering column, underneath the steering wheel, which I thought was very comical. And
probably failed too.
Yeah, and when I kind of slid it into a curb and snapped the rear wheel off, I wasn't that disappointed. Let's put it that way.
Just that's a shopping opportunity. You get to go out and get something that you actually want at that point.
Right.
Well, let's take a look.
That's the true measure of success, when you don't have to drive a Renault Dauphine anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I was only in high school, so I didn't have much choice. But
well, let's take a look at some cars that you probably also wouldn't want. And leading the way here, we have a 1992 AutoZam. Now, this is a Japanese domestic import car, Japanese domestic market car. Made by Mazda. It's a tiny, tiny little car with gull-wing doors, and I don't think there's any provision for those doors to come off if you roll over, so you might be trapped in that. Next up, we have a submission from Down Under. This is from the National Motoring Museum in Birdwood, Australia. And this was a promotional vehicle made by an Australian telecom company for the 1992 Olympics. This is the first mobile phone.
That's great.
And this actually does run and drive, but no one wants to.
Yeah, who cares?
When I first saw that picture, I actually thought it was a miniature. So now I realize it's actually real. Okay.
Yes.
We wouldn't mess with you.
No, I see that. I see that.
Next up is actually a very rare car. This is a 1960 Edsel two-door wagon. Now, they didn't make a whole lot of 1960 Edsels. They didn't make a whole lot of 1960 Edsel wagons, and they certainly didn't make too many two-doors. And this has had this paint job inflicted on it. So,
okay. Wow.
Kind of is the worst of all worlds.
Yes. That's right up there.
Now, knowing you're a Porsche fan, we figured this would probably be somewhat abhorrent to you as well. This is a 1970 Laser 917 kit car resplendent in brown on brown.
God, that's awful.
Yeah. That's like a bad pair of corduroy pants right there.
That is the most apt description of that car I've ever heard. Thank you very much. As opposed to a good pair of corduroy pants, right?
Well, yeah.
I've got a leisure suit jacket that color.
keeping with the German, sort of German car theme, this is a Bradley GT sports car. So you could kind of call this a German car. It's an American kit based on a VW chassis.
I remember that. I actually remember the Bradley. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just it looks fantastic, but I'm sure it's just awful to drive. And here we got to zoom into this a little bit. This is a Saturn, a 2000 Saturn that has been outfitted with a tiki bar. Because when you drive a 2000 Saturn, I think most of what you're going to want to do is drink. So that's to forget that, just to forget that you own a Saturn.
That guy's a professional photographer by trade.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think he also has a discount at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Likely. And if you wanted to take the whole family out for a ride, but you still want to take your sports car, we have this, a 4-door, 4-seat convertible Corvette. Something that, this is the answer to a question that absolutely nobody asked.
Yeah, if people wanted that, GM would have built it.
Yep.
That would really come in handy as an Indianapolis celebrity car for the parade.
Oh, yeah. It certainly would. Yeah.
With the whole family in there.
If it actually made it around the track, which being, you know, an old GM, it's kind of questionable.
Wow.
So any of them tickle your fancy as to that's the worst? And, you know, if that would be the worst thing I could ever be possibly forced to drive.
Well, there's a couple front runners in that group.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
Or back runners. I don't know which one. Man, I have a bit of a dilemma making this big decision. I would say it's a tie between the tiki barred Saturn and the 2-door Edsel station wagon.
Ah, both fine choices.
There's so many things wrong about both those cars. But I think I don't know. I have to pick one, right? Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did the tiki bar car win something yesterday?
I believe it did. Yeah, it may have.
Well, that's reconfirming my initial feeling. And my initial feeling is there's so many things wrong with that Edsel 2-door Edsel station wagon. Between the paint job, the idea of a 2-door station wagon in general, and Edsel. No disrespect.
Now, careful. I have a 59 4-door Edsel wagon, but it's just painted red and white.
Yeah, you're gonna make the Edsel Owners Club, all four of them, rise up and come after you. You know.
They're gonna stop buying your albums.
But just the the Edsel grill alone is worth honorable mention. I'm going to go with the Edsel.
Right. Yeah, that's the one you'd least likely to be forced into driving and being seen in public in. That's not a bad choice. In
a really weird, perverse way, I'd least like to be seen in that car, but at the same time, I think I'm most likely to be seen in.
It'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather be seen in that car than the 917 kid car. I hate those.
Yeah,
things.
Well, I agree. You mean the corduroy special, the bronze corduroy special?
Yeah.
Yes. I agree with you there too. I've got to go domestic. I'm going to stick with the Edsel.
Okay, outstanding. Well, there you have it. We have our winner of the John Oates Memorial. Even though he's still alive, I can't go for that award. Is given to the 1960 Edsel wagon, and for that honor, the owner of that car receives a $300 eBay gift card and a care package from the fine folks at Griot's Garage to keep that paint nice and shiny, because that's the key to that whole car is that awesome paint job. So we'd like to thank our
cover might be better.
Yeah, car cover might work. We'll have to work on that sponsorship for next year. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Haggerty, Classic Motorsports Magazine, eBay Motors, and Griot's Garage for making this entire debacle possible. We'd like to thank Tim for being our chief judge, and John, thank you so much for wasting your time and doing this and doing permanent injury to your career, we're sure.
Well, I can't think of a more depressing way of starting my morning. But thank you for that opportunity.
Thanks so much, and stay tuned. We'll have another class coming up here real soon. Bye, guys.